Well, no, because again, we danced to a lot of breaks. I've danced to breaks till I was blue. Like, I'm not even gonna try to front, but I'm a like head when it comes to music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But sometimes you just don't want to dance to that all the time.
No doubt.
Right? Like, how many jams you gonna go to and you hear like the same song? So
All right, Benzo, here we go, man. It's time to start some controversy. Who are the kings? Who are the kings of Toronto? Is it Bag of Tricks? Is it Supernaturals? Or is it Boogie Brats?
Woo! Those are all heavy hitters, baby.
I
That's all
know.
family. I'd say all of us.
Okay.
Because there's always room for many kings.
Okay.
Right? And you know, if you look at the way it's mapped out, it's a perfect, you know, story of how it's all, you know, how it all was passed down and spread out. And each crew did their thing and put their mark in, you know what I mean? Like Dizzy, world renowned B-boy battler, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Doing competitions all over the world, helping out now. He's out in Taiwan doing his thing, you know, so. And then the Boogie Rats legacy is just something that's like a hard mark. That's something you're never gonna forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Migas, you know, Mr. Gus, Vengeance, just his style is just so beautiful. It's something like a storm for Canada, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel Gizmo's the same way too. Yeah, for me personally, I feel he's like that before, you know, Migas, right? And then, you know, then you have K-Mel, who comes from the heart of it, you know. And then you have on the book side, you have Frank Boogie, you know. It's these people have given so much to the story and the community and to the art form. It's dope. So yeah, man, I think we all kings in the end, you know.
Right. Speaking of giving to the community, based on some of the interviews that I've been able to get out of some Torontonians, your name came up in the specifically that's coming to mind is the Pieces interview, and he was saying that it was actually you that introduced him to breaking, and then eventually to the scene. And if I'm not mistaken, he said it was the practices that you were that you had him at. I don't know if you were running the practices or whatever, where he eventually met his crew. So he gives a lot of credit to you, man.
Yes. So it started where I was teaching in a class. I was teaching in a dance school. It was a triple threat dance school where they teach, you know, acting and singing and you know, traditional dance. And they wanted to add breaking. So I was coming out of school and I was like, I just took the opportunity to teach. So yeah, I met this guy that was the studio owner here in Toronto. It was called Randolph Dance Theater, and he's from Detroit. He was into music. He known a lot of people. He actually let me meet like Gregory Hines, Whoopi Goldberg, like there's a whole bunch of people that he brought into my class when I first started teaching there. So Pieces' dad used to bring him to that class, right? And I took a liking to him because the kid was strong and he just loved the music that I was playing. So eventually me and him, we started doing more like mentorship type thing where I was just getting him more into like, you know, the reason to dance is dance the music that you like. Like, I don't want to come to session and play all the shit that I like. What do you like? So I got him into that. And, you know, now he's a big Jay Dilla fan, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and he does great things for like the community by opening up Unity. He opened up a huge fundraiser, but that was all from just, you know, me showing him a little bit of experience of like what you can do with hip hop. Because I used to run the community center on Tuesday nights and be $2 if you want to come in session. I don't care who you are, as long as you just want to come in and break. We from different crew, I don't care. You just pay your $2 a session. So that's how kind of like the MEC and all those guys came around too, and they kind of like, that was like a hub, a meeting spot for everybody.
No doubt. Now, I want to, if you don't mind, go down memory lane on that 99 year, man. That was like, for me, as far as exposure to Bag of Tricks, it seems like you guys were everywhere in the world that year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So the 3 battles I want to talk about are the UK champs, the Jam in Korea, and then the battle of the year. You cool with that?
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
No doubt. So you guys actually win UK Champs 99 as the only Canadian crew to do so. What was that like?
Yeah. Oh man, that was a journey, because the first 2 that you named happened first, and it was kind of like you know, the first time going international, you got to warm up to it. Mm-hmm. And everybody on the team wasn't used to that. You know what I mean? I was kind of used to going places because that's how I was kind of raised, especially my family. We would go to Barbados all the time. I'd go to New York all the time. So I was kind of like used to kind of being like, if I need to go somewhere else and I need to represent, I know I got to give it my all, because I'm there to represent everybody back home type thing. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, so the first 2, and don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting any crews. All the crews were dope. I loved it. I loved everybody that was there, the vibes that were there, the people was there, the organization. Just even touching those countries, putting my feet on that soil, because through dance, you know what I'm saying? Like that was fucking amazing. But we had a little hard run in the first 2 competitions, and then by the time we got to the UK, we were all sorted out and I guess well oiled, and we did what we had to do, and that was one of my biggest like accomplishments in terms of like winning a crew battle, and just, you know, feeling all that hard work being put in accomplishing the goal. You know?
No doubt. Now, how I saw on your Instagram that, and you made it a point to say the only North American crew that wasn't an all-star crew to win it. How important was that extra asterisk on there?
Because it's just, I feel like sometimes, because they consider it so far north, even though like Buffalo and New York City is right there. And Detroit, all my cities, big up my cities. Yeah, like, and Chicago, big up Wolf. It's like some people don't think we don't get looked at enough. You know what I mean? There's a lot of us out here that are really talented, and the focus of what we do isn't really on a big scale like that versus how it is in the States, right? So that's what we're working on, and that's what we're trying to really focus on.
Now, you bring up a point when you're talking about, like, when we were just talking about the crew. Do you think that the crew is being downplayed in today's era? And what I mean by that is you see this huge amount of 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, but the crew aspect seems to have died to some extent, unfortunately. But in my opinion, well, I don't give you my opinion. You give me. We here to hear you, not me.
Well, the competition game has changed, right? The level of what you can give has changed, especially with the way that, you know, you have big companies that are investing in it now. Now you can put it on a level where you can do, you know, a one-on-one for a huge, massive amount of money. So now, in that case, if you're a b-boy or b-girl, you don't have to depend on anybody else to get to where you got to get to, right? You just got to work on you, and that's a lot easier than trying to get together with a bunch of people. So I see how it's kind of shifted, where now it's kind of like, well, you know, if I win this competition, you know, I can move on and get up into the game and do my thing from there. Whereas with a crew, you know, you got to take care of like 4 or 5 other people. You got to get your game together so people aren't on the ball. So it's a lot harder, right? And the payoff of solos now, the way it's looking to me, is a lot more profitable too. Like,
hey, Benzo, I hate to give my opinion, man, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Like, okay, so I'm imagining it's 99, and I see, and I'm watching, you know, the Korean Hip Hop Fest VHS, and all I see is Benzo in a one-on-one versus, I don't know, Flowmaster.
I know. And no, I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just saying that's what's popping right now. Like, yeah, even, you know, even right now with, say, for example, you know, where places are in lockdown, they can't do certain things. So now you just, if you want to do a crew battle, you don't have to necessarily film with 4 or 5 different people. You just film yourself and enter these battles now. They're everywhere. These are one-on-one online battles, right? So I think it's just because the way things are laid out, what's accessible is kind of funneling it to that, you know, one-on-one. Like you said, 2-on-2 is like, most you see is like a 3-on-3, right? And I guess organizers, that's easier for them to deal with, you know, how many people you're dealing with. Maybe they got to fly people in. These are just some things that's off the top, but I like seeing crew battles. I like seeing crews. For me, it wasn't just about the battle. It was about getting together and dancing with some people that enjoy the music the same way I enjoy it, and we can all bounce off of each other and create ideas and elevate. That's what that is for me. Right.
Did you play sports in high school?
Yeah, I played a lot of sports.
What'd you play? What was your main one?
Main one was basketball.
Okay.
Soccer, started off with soccer because my family forced me into that. This typical West Indian, you know, you have to play football. And then
there you go.
And then basketball was my thing.
And the reason I'm asking is because, like, when I played football, that was my thing in high school.
Okay.
And well, not the football you was talking about. I'm talking about like knock people on their butt football.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, like today the whole setup is different, right? And I've used this example before, but it's relevant now, so I'll use it again. For instance, when I was in high school, you went to the school that was in your neighborhood, that your address fell under their jurisdiction, their district, right? So you played your sports with the kids you came up with.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But today, where I live now in Arizona, they have this thing called open enrollment. So you can go to any school you want to in the whole city, even if you don't live anywhere close to there. So what we have now is we have a couple of schools who are really, really good because kids from all over the city want to go play sports at those schools. One school. Yeah. So like I equate that to the crews versus the individual. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be an all-star by myself, but I got to leave behind the dudes that I came up with. And for me, it's just something about rocking with the dudes you came up with that is just priceless and just can't be replaced. Even so, I'm not even saying that I don't like one-on-ones or three on. Well, I don't really like one-on-ones, but 2s and 3s. But what I'm saying is, like, I just wish that it didn't have to exist at the you know, exist to the point where now crews don't exist. Now, if they just all coexisted, it'd just be like, cool, that's just another lane. But the fact that like the crew battle has almost been gone extinct, that's kind of saddening to me.
And remember, I'm coming from an era where I was battling where there was no judges, right? It's just you went to the jam and you battled. There's no judges. You you smoked out of the crew, you knew they would stop dancing or they'd walk away. Like that's how it went down. So for me, raw battles like that and jams and ciphers, that's more me. Even this like setup competition to me is more even like a bit showcasey, right? It's very like, you know, you're going up on a stage to perform in a sense where it's still a battle. It's probably the rawest performance that you could probably get, right? Almost like boxing in a sense where you put two people in a ring, they're gonna fight and punch it out. So it's the same thing to, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So this is the rawest performance you can get. But if that was, you know, it doesn't happen like it used to, or I don't want to say that. I would rather say it doesn't happen as much,
right?
Where, you know, you go to a jam and it's not to go win a competition, you just go to listen to some music and y'all just start ciphering and maybe somebody might do something that, I don't know, you don't like and you rebuttal and you all go at it for a bit. Like that's what it was. Like,
right.
You know,
organically it would just happen in the cipher.
Right? Yeah. Right. I even do that with some of your boys, like make fun of them shit, be like, yo, like this is, you know what I mean? That's what we used to do that a lot to ante up each other's in our game. We used to like go at each other. Oh yeah, me and Gizmo. Actually, if you ever talk with Gizmo, ask him who he battled the most.
No doubt. Word. Speaking of that, when you brought it up, it made me think of it, but I kind of forgot. Now I'm remembering it again. Like, how did that work with, you said Teeth and Gizmo being in more than one crew? That didn't cause any like rift, did it?
No.
Okay. It was just like, well, you guys are down with them and down with us.
It was more in a sense where we just kind of supported whatever they wanted to do.
Okay.
And we already had love for Rocksteady, so for us, and for me, well, actually, I should say, I took it as them just having an opportunity to even help Bag of Tricks even get bigger out there, right? So
right.
It's something that I would never go and promote and tell somebody to turn down. I'm not that type of person. You make your own decisions, right? But I supported it, and I thought it was dope.
Okay.
That outcome, you know, us even winning against France and just being in Korea was just more of a fun experience, and it wasn't like like I said, like it was our first international battle, so it was rough in a sense where we weren't all together. As you can tell, as our energy on stage, like, you know what I mean? Because we're so used to battling in ciphers and shit like that.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section, and to make sure you don't miss a thing from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support so far. Peace. Until the next episode.